Hi, everybody. I know that no one is watching right now because I just launched, but I wanted to go ahead and jump right in because if you miss what I'm saying now, you can hear it in the replay. So, welcome to Staying Connected. Staying Connected is all about helping small business owners really learn to take advantage of their digital presence in a way that is going to help them engage with their clients while we're working through this quarantine and self quarantine laws that are being put in place for our protection during the COVID-19 viral, I don't want to say scare or panic because this is a real thing. But there are a lot of people that are very frightened and panicked. And we want to help them make sure their business is web ready and connected to their clients in this time frame. Um, so, in our first episode, we're going to be talking about websites, which are my bread and butter. Your website is an amazing tool to really engage with people in their own homes and in their on their mobile devices. And it allows people that you may never get a chance to have walk through the door of your business to actually be able to feel like they have a real and present connection with you. So we're going to start by talking about a few things that you might want to do on your website and help you sort of set some intentional goals on how to really navigate at this point in time your web presence. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start with identifying your goals. And I apologize if you see me look off screen. My notes are to the side here. I will be posting these notes on my website. You can find our website at www.skycastleproductions.com. There you can find pretty much everything you need to get in contact with us. We can help you out with your website through that website. And then you can also check out my notes, which I promise will have a lot less ums and stumbling over words. So here we go. The first thing we're going to talk about is identifying goals. When I work with my clients in a normal setting, the first thing I do is I ask them to identify their goals, usually about 3 or 4 of them. And I want to know their marketing goals, not just about their website, but I also want to know what are your marketing goals for off the website. So let's say I'm working with a retailer who owns a clothing boutique. I want to know what are her or his goals for selling their clothing. A lot of people that I've spoken with in that sort of genre, they want to get more people to see their work online or to see their clothing online. And they think the best way to do that is to go through Facebook and Instagram and so on. And they're right in a lot of ways. But what they're going to end up doing if they do not talk with someone first or don't do their research first is they're going to spend a lot of extra time working on building a social media presence, which doesn't bring in any profit to them. So they spend all their time there and very little time actually marketing in a way that's going to be a return on their investment. So if you talk with, say, your web developer or your web designer about that goal, then you're going to find that your options are going to be a lot broader, because what I would say to someone that said, oh, well, I really, really, really want to showcase my clothing and the outfits that you could put together for my clothing on Instagram, I would then let them know that there are e-commerce platforms they can use to create a direct sales link from Instagram to their shopping cart. And you may or may not have known that, but that's something that really talking with a web designer or web developer will help you in getting your marketing goals and getting your website off the ground. So when you're thinking about identifying your goals and thinking about how, with especially COVID-19 and social distancing, think about all of the goals that you have for your business in a marketing standpoint, and think about how you can marry those goals into a website. If you don't know how, call someone that does websites. I'll be happy to do a free consultation with anybody that calls me to answer those questions for you. Like if, say, you're a restaurant and you want online ordering and you don't know how that happens, I do. And I know many other web designers that also know those things. So definitely, if you have questions about those kind of things, talk to somebody in the web design or in the web development field that may be able to answer those for you. But most importantly, in this time of uncertainty, you should be identifying your goals and how they can relate to your website. The next piece of our puzzle is something I never thought I would ever have to ask my clients ever, which is under your state or your county's current shelter in place or level of quarantine, how is your day-to-day operations functioning with your business? So many of us run businesses which are considered non-essential under the shelter in place laws. In Georgia, where I live, our governor has issued statewide shelter in place, and it's more of a request, but they definitely don't want you to leave your house if you don't have to. So a lot of larger companies have sent their workers home to try and work from home. A lot of people have really suffered because, like, say, the restaurant industry here in Atlanta, which is the city I live in, a lot of them were not prepared to take online orders or to start with curbside pickup. These are industries where the employees are suffering and the business owners are suffering. And then in turn, the landlords suffer because no one can pay rent and so on and so forth, to a point that our economy then is hinged on not having the proper tools in place to work off site. And so, like, while your larger companies, Coca-Cola, if you work in an office building, your work is usually made remote for you. If you work in the service industry, there's not a way for you to go work from home because your job is preparing food for someone, or your job is selling clothes or furniture or lawn equipment to someone. And so a website should really help you to take your day-to-day activities and provide them online so that your business doesn't suffer as extreme if you're not able to go into the office. Let's take a look here at an example that I give. And I apologize, I'm not tech savvy enough to have it up on screen for you. So let's think about a typical website. When I started in the industry, we built what were called 5-page websites, and that was the standard. And I would say, for the most part, most small web companies have not strayed from that sort of basic, you get a template, you get 5 pages, and you get launched. And those 5 pages usually are home, about us, our services, request a quote, or if you have a retail store or restaurant, usually request a quote is replaced by visit us in store or visit us in person, and then a contact page. The home page is usually above the fold. You'll see the logo, the menu, and you'll see a rotating set of images that usually showcases products or showcases services that the company offers. The About Us page is pretty much useless, and I really hate to say that because I do endorse everyone having an About Us page. But usually what it is it's about a 3-sentence paragraph about when the company was established. And then below that, you'll get maybe a 2 or 3 paragraph bio about the owners of the company. And when I say paragraph, I usually mean like a 2-sentence paragraph. Not a lot of content on the About Us pages. Photography is usually taken with a cell phone, or it was a scan of a photo from years and years ago. So they're not utilized in the way that they should be utilized. Moving on from there, the request or the services page usually is a bullet point list of services with no information about how your company is different than other companies in providing those services. I always tell people best practice is not only to have a services page, which has a repository of all of your services, but also to have an individual landing page for each one of those services. So let's say that you are a lawn care business and you offer hedge trimming, you offer lawn maintenance, you offer weed removal and things like that. Each one of those pages needs to have a content on it. Each one of those pages needs to have a reason why someone should contact you versus True Green or another large competitor of yours to do their lawn or to keep up with their lawn maintenance, anything like that. So you definitely really want to really hone in on your services, but most general websites, as we see right now, don't have that availability, or they don't have the means to do that, or they just didn't think about it when they launched their site. They never expected to have to explain their services to someone without being able to bring those services either to their client or without having their client come to them to talk about those services. A request a quote page or a come visit us in person page. Usually you'll see those will have a PDF that you can download and fill out, or they'll have a form that you can fill out, maybe directions to your restaurant, anything like that. And then finally, a contact us has a very quick description of how to actually get in contact with your business: phone number, address, and an email form. These pages work. This format works for most businesses. You'll find the majority of businesses, that's all they need in a normal circumstance. I would tell the majority of my clients, if you don't have content right away, it's a goal to build towards it. But we could launch with those 5 pages under the conditions in which I just told you about. It's functional, and it encourages people to call you or to come visit your store or your physical location. However, right now we're in a place where people aren't able to reach your physical location, or they're not allowed to, or you're not technically considered an essential service. So your office and your location have shut down. And now your clients have to either find your services, and decide they want to work with you, all based off of your website and your web presence. So that's where I feel like definitely at this time, you need to be thinking about, what does my day-to-day office experience look like, and how can I translate that to my website? An example that I like to give is a restaurant. That's a very easy one to talk about right now, especially. Previously, a lot of restaurants, when handling online orders, wanted to go through someone like Uber Eats or DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, things like that. And for the most part, those were really great services, and they really did help small businesses get the ability to process credit cards online and take care of online ordering. And then a contractor through Uber Eats, Postmates, and so on and so forth would then come to the restaurant, pick up the food, and handle delivery. So someone else was then taking on the added burden of the insurance and the taxes and so on and so forth. However, in a situation like we're dealing with right now with the COVID-19 virus, some areas are no longer receiving Grubhub or Postmates. A lot of them have been either temporarily shut down for the safety of the drivers and the clientele, or they have moved to only providing, like, say, groceries. They're not doing all restaurants, and they're only taking care of like completely sealed packages. And so that, for a small mom and pop business, could mean that they're essentially out of operations. They can't open up in store, and they can't have Grubhub, Postmates, and so on come and pick up things and deliver. So your day-to-day activities at that point have been completely ground to a halt. So if you're off-site, or your customers are not allowed to be on-site, what would you then do to pick up business again? For, again, a restaurant, it's extremely easy for them, because they can then set up an online ordering system. Online ordering can be done through a shopping cart. All you have to do is have a website. You have to have an e-commerce platform that provides you with a shopping cart or a credit card processor that will allow you to integrate with a shopping cart. And then you have to have a menu, really good descriptive menu that tells people exactly what they're getting via pictures and text. Those are things that allow that restaurant then to pick up business where it left off. And instead of their clients coming in and sitting down and ordering, it allows their clients to sit in their own homes and order and then come and get curbside pickup or for them to deliver. And that's more of a question for your insurance agent, whether you can or cannot deliver to your clients. So it's definitely, if you're taking notes, now is the time to think about what your goals are going to be for your marketing and how those goals can be integrated into your website. And then as well, how do you take your day-to-day activities and how do you apply them to something that's online so that your employees and your clients can then interact as they need to with your business. I have a client that before the whole COVID-19 came into play, they don't have a physical office for their employees to come into. They have a physical office for sort of senior staff, but their employees have no need to come into the office other than just to collect paychecks. And most of them get direct deposit anyway. So they have to, because of the industry they're in, they have to publish a lot of workers' comp information. They have to publish a lot of OSHA regulations. But if they don't have anyone coming into the office, there's no way for their employees to find the information they need about their rights as workers and their protections as workers. So what we did was we created a password protected area on their website for their employees to be able to log into and download workers' comps forms, HR forms, things like that. They took the ability for their clients to use their website to make purchases, but also for their employees to use their website as an HR resource. It's very important, like I said, focus on what you can take off of your in-person website or in-person business and revamp it so that it works online. Another thing that we can talk about is lead generation. Right now is a pretty scary time for anyone that's in a lead generated field because you can't go out to a coffee shop and chat with your prospective employees or prospective clientele. I have a client that is a insurance agent, and what he does is he has a plugin built into his website, which allows people to make an appointment with him, and then he then can set up a Zoom or a GoToMeeting appointment with them. So he's able to have a face-to-face with someone without ever leaving his home, without them ever leaving their home. And then he's able to also share his screen with them in those settings so that they can then see sort of the rates they're getting and get a real apples to apples comparison without having to go sit somewhere and be at risk. So for families that are looking for insurance, he's able to completely take his business and uproot it from a physical one-on-one scenario and put it in a situation where he's able to continue having that one-on-one scenario outside of the physical interaction. And that's so important right now. As we kind of wrap this up, and I know I promised 30 minutes, but if anyone has any questions, please type them into the comments bar and we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, I'm just sort of going to give broad tips and tricks for getting your business to be web ready, which in turn will get your business to be COVID ready. The first one is restaurants. And a friend of mine were talking last week, and we both mentioned how mom and pop restaurants may not last through this whole shutdown, this whole quarantine situation. And he made the comment that a lot of restaurants where he lived in Colorado relied on Postmates 100%. And so when Denver, the nearest major city, shut down, a lot of these restaurants were left without an opportunity to provide delivery services. And so like if you're a restaurant and you're in a similar situation, now is definitely the time to begin to focus on building out your online menu. Not tomorrow, Wednesday, when we do our meeting, I'm going to be having William Twitty on. He's a photographer. He's actually one of the top 14 food photographers in Atlanta. And I'm going to have him kind of discuss the importance of having a visual menu online. So that's incredibly important for restaurants right now, is to have the ability for your clients to place an order, to interact with you, to make special orders, or to have anything changed on that order. And as well for them to be able to know instructions on how to do, are you doing curbside pickup? Are you doing delivery? Things like that. And so being able to move that business model for a restaurant is probably pretty easy online, because there are so many tools currently in place to build your menu online and to build your shopping cart online for online ordering. And definitely it's all about getting that, the ease for your clients to know what they're getting and how they can pick it up from you. So the three things you'll need to move forward online is a website, credit card processing, and especially making sure your credit card processor allows you to integrate with online shopping carts built for food service, and to have a vibrant and attractive menu. Second, we're going to talk about retail locations. And so retail locations are locally owned, small retail places, not your Target, not your large stores, but anywhere that I would say is owned and operated by the owner or family and very minimal employees. That's going to be one of the hardest hits industries, because there's not going to be a situation for them to send their employees home to work. And that is horrible. And I feel so sorry for everyone that's in that situation and having to make that tough call. However, people who have let employees go with the promise that when they're able to reopen, they'll rehire them, they need to make sure that they're staying in business through the COVID-19 issues. And so having their business ready to post online, having their business ready to interact and engage with clients, and then make those sales so that they continue to have revenue stream coming in, so that they can take care of the essential services and the essentials that they have to pay for to stay in business through the whole COVID-19 issues. So what I would suggest for retail and small retail especially is create a resource for your clients. Make sure that they know that your products are available online on your website, have a shopping cart, have an e-commerce platform set up on your website. Make sure that all of your products are accurately listed as their stock records, so that you don't end up being unable to fulfill orders and getting bad reviews during this time. And then also too, if you have a service-based retail, like say you sell auto parts, or you sell lawn equipment, or you sell like pool cleaning chemicals, anything that you know that you usually deal with, say a contractor who then uses those products to go out and perform a service, then what you would need to do, or what I would suggest for you to do, is to create a group page on Facebook, so that then you can bring together all of these contractors and become a dedicated resource to them, to answer their questions about stocking, to answer their questions about availabilities right now, when supply chains seem like they might not be able to get to them in time. You want to be the resource for them. And the way you're going to be able to do that is to set up a private Facebook group through your company Facebook page that allows them to come to you and ask questions and get questions answered. The last kind of tip and tricks I'm going to throw out here before I answer questions are the salon and beauty services. As you can see, I am in desperate need of hair coloring. And so my stylist has been very good with helping me, to know not to go get a box color and do it myself, because I'll get orange spots in my hair, because I have a 3-step process to getting my hair the color that it's supposed to be. But a lot of people that may go in once or twice a month for a haircut may not understand why cutting their own bangs is a bad idea. And so for salons and beauty services that are not able to literally get their hands on clients, it's important right now that you guys step up with educational information. I'm doing a Facebook Live. It is so easy to do. If you need help with that, please give me a call. I would love to teach you how to do a Facebook Live, where you could do a beauty tutorial or talk about products. An incredibly amazing idea is affiliate marketing. affiliate marketing is a marketing strategy or is a product selling strategy in which a manufacturer reaches out to an industry professional, and then that industry professional sells those products on their website, and then there's a fee split between the manufacturer or the brand and the industry professional. So if you're in the beauty care industry, reach out to the manufacturers of the products that you use or maybe sell in your salons or in your like in your like an esthetician. There might be face like creams and specialty items that are extremely delicate that you wouldn't want your clients using something that you didn't know about or that they might not know all the ingredients or uses for. So reach out to the manufacturers of the products that you would normally use and see if they have an affiliate marketing program. I know a lot of shampoos and a lot of high-end hair products like hair colors have affiliate marketing programs. And just do your research about your industry. And if you need help setting up that affiliate marketing program online, reach out to someone that takes care of websites, reach out to a marketing professional, because it's incredibly important that your affiliate marketing links reach the people you need to stay in business at this time. So that's all I had for tips and tricks. I'm going to answer some questions now, and we've got about 4 minutes left, so I'll try to be quick. I apologize if I was verbose. Chuck Day, hello, Chuckles Day. That's my father, if you don't know, but he is a country music singer, and he asks the question, I have many friends who are traveling musicians. Is there a solution like Zoom that would enable them to speak with a pastor or a promoter face to face? Or is there a way to promote that they need to reschedule their concerts, etc.? So I would say definitely your website is your greatest tool again in that point. But more importantly for personalities, your social media will be your greatest tool. Your website should always be in contact with your social media. The two should always reflect one another. There should not be conflicting information. So if you have your events listed on Facebook and you have your events listed on your website and both are canceled, make sure that it's very important you make sure that you're in both places notating that the event was canceled or rescheduled or so on. When dealing with promoters, I know a lot of people specifically in Chuck's genre, which is inspirational and Christian country, they rely on donations and they rely on pastors and smaller promoters to put their tours together. And so while it might be a little bit tedious at first, a Zoom conference or a GoToMeeting conference is going to allow you to have a face-to-face video conference with multiple people at one time. And so it gives you the opportunity to set up a Q&A with people that were expecting you to be at their venue and then you weren't able to be there. So you can set up a multi-person Q&A, almost like having your own press conference through Zoom or GoToMeeting. The other option I would definitely say is if you're wanting to set up events where you're staying in front of your audience and you're really staying relevant in front of them, do a Facebook Live concert. Be sure that you do make sure your sound quality is good. There are tools that you can get to connect into your computer or your phone that allows you to have a soundboard for a Facebook Live event. So make sure your quality is as good as it would be in your face-to-face concerts or your in-person concerts, but stay in front of people. If you don't have the capability to do an online concert, at least do a Facebook Live and just engage with your fans and engage with your audience. Many of the tools that are available to you guys are free. So don't hesitate to reach out to me or to another marketing professional. I'm sure they would be happy to talk with you about how you can set something up or how they can help you set something up for a small fee. So that looks like it's the only question for me today. Like I said, tomorrow we are going to be, or not tomorrow, sorry, I apologize. Wednesday, we are going to be talking with William Twitty about food photography and catalog photography at this time and how important it is to have a good presentation on your products for online usage. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or any topics you would like us to talk about, we will be hosting these live events Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. every day. So be sure to share us with all your friends. You can visit our website, SkyCastleProductions.com, and send us an email there, or you can always hit the message button on our Facebook page. Thank you so much, everybody. And you guys have a great day and stay busy.